UFC 309 is a complete embarrassment. It's utter garbage. It's a disgrace to all previous MSG cards that have taken place there. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking putting this card together. It is a complete embarrassment, which is so weird because MSG cards are supposed to be a monumental fucking card. They're supposed to be some of the greatest fights ever. MSG cards are known as top tier. You look back years down the road. I mean, you look previously, Conor McGregor fought there, Khabib. Look at all the other fights that have taken place there. It's an embarrassment to even have this type of card at MSG, and we're going to get into it right now. So taking a look at these fights, starting off with the prelims. I mean, you got Veronica Hardy. These fights make zero sense, like I said before. Zellhazoff, Oban Elliott, obviously, that's a name that, that casuals aren't gonna know. This is like for people that actually watch UFC and MMA. They're the only ones who are gonna know who Oban Elliott is. Same thing with Mickey Gall. Jim Miller's at the end of his career. I mean, I don't think we want to see Jim Miller fight anymore. Damon Jackson honestly should win this fight too. But I don't even give a shit about who's gonna win the fight. This card sucks. It's utter garbage. Especially for an MSG card, you got an old, washed-up Weidman. Bo Nickel on a main card really goes to show that they really don't have anybody. I mean, taking a look at it, obviously. Again, none of these fights make sense to even have an MSG card. Oliveira versus Chandler is one of those fights where I'm like, why the fuck is this even happening? The last time these two fought, again, Chandler got knocked the fuck out. They're both coming off losses. Oliveira, his last fight, had a close fight with Arman Tsarukyan, lost the fight though. And Michael Chandler hasn't fought in 2 years, and the last time he did, he got destroyed by Dustin Poirier. And then before that, he beat Tony Ferguson, who was already washed up by then, and then got picked apart by Justin Gaethje. This fight makes zero sense. I mean, again, from both of their losses and where they're coming from, I just don't see how you match make them after their previous fights and how this fight makes sense. Where do they go from here? Do they just fight? Like, who do they fight after this? Again, it doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense when I looked at it at first. It still doesn't make sense now. I don't know what the UFC was fucking thinking with this. Then going here, you got Jones versus Stipe. Again, I'm one of those people that I don't give a shit about this fight. I know Jon Jones is going to win, but who actually wants to see this fight? I mean, I really, please, in the comments, let me know if you actually really want to see this fight. This fight makes zero sense to me. Stipe Miocic hasn't fought in 3.5 years, and when he did, he got knocked the fuck out by fucking Francis Ngannou. Even my sparring partners, my friends, they're like, oh, don't count Stipe out. Stipe's a guy. Stipe is, what is he now, 43 years old, excuse me? Yeah, 42 or 43 years old. Maybe if you said Stipe Miocic in 2019, it's a different story. It's a different story. 2019 Stipe Miocic, that's a completely different story. I mean, take a look at Stipe's record recently. He hasn't fought in 3.5 years. No one that he's fought is currently active in the UFC. We're in a completely new era of new fighters now. Times have changed. Different fighters are coming through. Stipe, again, it would be embarrassing if this fight goes over 2.5 rounds and Jon Jones doesn't finish Stipe. This fight shouldn't even go that long. Jon Jones should finish him. It would be a complete embarrassment and a complete disgrace if Jon Jones doesn't finish him. Again, we're in a world where these two are fighting, and you have Tom Aspinall, who's the current interim champion, whom some people consider as the true heavyweight champion, who is defending an interim title. That's unheard of. I don't give a shit to see a legacy fight. I want to know who the best fucking heavyweights are in the world. This fight makes zero sense. I was pissed off when Jon Jones even called out Stipe. I remember sitting on the couch, watching this with my friends, thinking in my head, just this fight makes zero sense. He's going to fucking destroy him. Jon Jones should be fighting Aspinall. And even if, Jon Jones is, even said on social media that he's probably calling it quits after this fight, which is another thing. Let's say hypothetically Stipe won. You think Stipe is going to stick around to fight Aspinall? No, he's going to retire. He's almost 45 years old. And same thing with Jones has made it clear that I'm 90% sure that he's going to retire. Where do they go from there? So Tom Aspinall is going to be robbed of one of the biggest things that he could accomplish in his career, which would be beating John Jones or Aspinall, one or the other. So it sucks for him, it really does. But this fight just makes no sense. Again, both these guys are probably retiring after this fight. I don't see it. I don't see any reason why they won. But I don't understand why the fight was put together. That's my opinion. Same thing with Bo Nickel on a main card. I mean, Bo Nickel still is an upcoming fighter. My opinion, he shouldn't be on a main card. You got Chris Weidman, who's washed up, fighting on a main card. It's disgusting, especially for an MSG card. God, I think I'll enjoy the prelims more than I'll enjoy this. UFC 309 is a fucking embarrassment. It really is a disgrace. I don't know what the UFC was thinking. I don't know what, fucking Hunter or Dana. I have no clue what they were thinking putting this card together. This is, listen, I was taking a look the other, 2 days ago at all the other cards to really put my money to my mouth. This is the worst card this year. Even some of the fight nights are better than this. This is horrible. Just the matchmaking is terrible. Again, I don't know how you come up with these solutions. These fights make no sense, and I don't think there's any storyline or whatever the UFC is trying to do that goes after these fights. But again, this is just my opinion. This is what I think. You guys let me know what you think in the comments.